Now, Britain could strike Houthi targets in Yemen again. Foreign Secretary Lord David Cameron has said that if the rebel group continues to attack ships in the Red Sea, UK forces could strike back. He said, "We will work with allies, we will always defend the freedom of navigation and, crucially, we'll be prepared to back words with action." This comes as Defence Secretary Grant Shapps told Iran to urge its allies to cease and desist as the world is running out of patience. Joining me now to discuss this further is Defence Editor at the Evening Standard, Robert Fox. Robert, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. Robert, what do you make of what David Cameron has said overnight, that, you know, we are in this, we are not backing down?
Well, I think he's stating almost the obvious, because it is not clear what the Houthis are going to do next. They've been making a lot of noise and making quite extravagant claims and saying all this, that, and the other must happen. But do they intend to go on attacking non-aligned shipping? They've claimed that they've only been attacking ships connected with Israel. It's been quite a thin link in many cases, and they attacked British and American warships, and that's why the retaliation came in towards the end of last week. If they say that they're going to go on attacking ships, and they have said that, and they still have more munitions and drones threatening the navigation of the high seas, the free movement there, I'm pretty sure that in the short term there will be further strikes. There will have to be, in the mind of the British and American command. And of course, they're getting a lot of support from Europe, not popularly advertised, I think quietly, from Egypt and Saudi Arabia, who are in a very tricky place. But it's interesting that Canada and Australia are supporting as well, and you can work out how the alliances are working there. But the next move is really down to the Houthis. And the Houthis have been promoting themselves, and that's really very much part of the story, in quite an extraordinary way.
Robert, we were discussing earlier on with the panel that, you know, military strategy always should involve an exit plan. I'm not entirely clear what the plan going forward is, full stop, on this one. I mean, if the Houthis, and they show no signs of stopping, they already fired a drone attack back after the initial attack by America and the UK. So it doesn't seem to be encouraging them to stop. So, I mean, could this really develop into a full-blown war issue?
Well, anything can generate, because things are so volatile, into a full-blown war, but it depends what you mean by. And I'm not being clever here. I've you know, most of my journalistic career, we've been bedeviled by cliches. One minute it was mission creep, now it's exit strategies, then it's end games. What is happening is actually a high-class policing operation to maintain, underpinned by UN Charter, the freedom of navigation of the seas, which isn't just a high-minded luxury. It's very important, since 95% plus of all export trade, global, goes by sea. And if Europe, particularly, and the US can't maintain this, we are in trouble. And the fact, as I was pointing out, that Canada and Australia have come in, it's absolutely right why they're there, because this really is of global significance. By the way, nobody's talking about the fact that India has sent a fleet of 10 ships into the area, because India has had traffic, a chemical freighter, attacked as it was approaching the Indian port. So it is big, it is complex. The problem is, do not read history as a cartoon textbook. Each one of these conflicts, and this is a boring cliche, is uniquely different. And what is so interesting here is the relationship in the so-called axis of resistance between Iran and the main players. And principally, we're looking now at Hamas, the Houthis, as well as the proxies and clients and friends of the Hezbollah collection, the three Hezbollahs to the north of Israel, in Lebanon, Iraq and Syria.
Robert Fox, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. That's Robert there, Defence Editor at the Evening Standard.